I just want to try something. This is a test, okay? Okay, I'm just checking. So nobody in here has consecotaliophobia, which is, of course, the fear of chopsticks. And if you have deipnophobia, which is, I guess, fear of deipnos, I don't know what the hell that is. But deipnophobia, you'd be glad that I'm up here, because deipnophobia is the fear of dining or dinner conversations. So there you go, so you don't have to converse while I'm up here. There you go. And luckily John started us off the evening very well, and that was fantastic, but luckily nobody, I hope, has metrophobia, which is not fear of the metro, but fear of poetry, actually. But then I thought, but what if it's supposed to be a scary poem? What's that? You know, you want them to be scared. And the people who are telling stories, as they're telling stories tonight, recalling their old memories, hopefully they don't have mnemophobia, which is fear of memories. And I was happy to go on the second set. I always kind of like that. I don't mind a long wait, because I do not have macrophobia, which is the fear of long waits. I also don't have gravel voiceophobia, which is the fear of tom waits. I have the opposite problem. And sometimes I have decidophobia, which is the fear of making decisions, because I can't decide when to stop or what story to tell. But a lot of people, they say, they have a fear of public speaking, or they don't like getting up in front of people. And I wasn't sure if that is, is it the microphone? And we were looking at, what's the fear of the microphone? And I couldn't find it. It's not microfear, which is the fear of small things. It's just, you just get a little scared though, so it's not so bad. But I think it might be, actually, it's photoagliophobia, which is the fear of glaring lights. So if you have that, then you are not going to be very happy about this first piece. This is called Spotlight's Revenge. I know you're out there. It's got to be one of you. The man with the hair, the man with no hair, the man just kind of in between. He'll get there eventually. I know it's one of you. Someone's gonna kill their neighbor. Someone's sleeping on the train. Someone's sipping stolen perfume. Someone's drunk from all the pain. Someone says her name is Moonbeam, and someone knows it's not. Someone's tired of being lonely. Someone's Johnny on the spot. Someone's dreaming like an easy chair, and someone's at the wheel. Someone really needs a blowjob. Someone's stuck under the heel. Is it you, Mr. Red Shirt? Is it you, also wearing red? Is it you, stripy red man? Is it you, kind of pinky? Maybe. Someone smells like tuna fish, and someone needs a drink. Someone's smashing all their memories. Someone's head is in the sink. Someone's heart is made of concrete. Someone's living in a dump. Someone's cat is on the roof, and someone's back has got a hump. Someone's waiting on the waiter. Someone's betting on the muse. Someone's screaming like a trumpet. Someone's trying not to use. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? He's pointing to himself. Is it you? Thank you. Fantastic. That's good. It's interesting because I thought, you know, I was checking out the flashlight beforehand, and I thought it's really, like, when you look right into it, it's really bright. You know, that's because I was going like, is this flashlight too bright to use? I can't see. Now I can't see again. But when I'm actually pointing it at you, like I used to use a different flashlight, and you could see, I could see where it was pointing, but I couldn't really see. But was it slightly annoying having the light in your eyes? Good, good. That was my plan. This next piece is a bit about, we were talking about fear and heebie-jeebies and what kind of scares you a bit. And this is, I don't know, it's one of those things, like I like watching, I'm not into horror movies, and I'm not into, like, I watch Dexter because I think it's very interesting, but at the same time I'm kind of like freaked out by it a little bit. And so this is a piece that I wrote a while back, and it's a piece about psychopaths. And I find that whenever I do this piece, it's not like a feel-good kind of thing. And whenever I do it afterwards, like, you know, I walk through the room, and it's kind of like, I feel like, you know, Moses in the Red Sea, and I'm walking, and everybody's kind of like. So I figured that instead of this, because it's really hard, because you do a piece like this, and people don't want to go, yay, arson, yeah. So let's try this. So I want to practice. I'd like you all to boo and hiss me really hard right now, okay? So this is, get ready. Give me a big boo, everybody boo. If you gotta kind of mix it up though, so don't all hiss or boo at the same time. So some of you boo, some of you hiss. Work out with the person next to you who's gonna do which. And at the end of the piece, if you like it, boo, hiss. That's right. Boo it like you mean it. So anyways, here we go. See, this is, I grew up, I was raised Catholic, which is, yeah, we have Guilt Thanksgiving, which is fantastic. And we also have this, you know, one of the main saints is St. Paul. And I remember my father telling me about, you know, St. Paul, and he always, one of his famous catchphrases as a saint was, that which I would not do, I do. I keep doing these things that I don't want to do. I don't mean to do these things, but I do them anyways. This is about that. I never meant to. I never meant to. I swear to God, I never meant to. I didn't. I never meant to, and yet I did it anyway. Kept hearing them voices badgering, telling me you got to make them bad folk all just go away. So on some I used a blender, on some a rusty saw. Some I just kept filing and scraping them down till even their bones was raw. On some I used my anger, on some I used my teeth. Some I just kept feeding and stuffing them full till they choked on their disbelief. Till they choked on their disbelief. But I never meant to. I never meant to. I never meant to, but maybe I did it just for spite. Rounded up all them tempting young things, and I locked them in that room all night. I made them confess their devotion. I made them confess their sins. I made them confess their unmentionables. I made them confess their skin. I made them confess till they thanked me. I made them confess till they cried. I made them confess till they loved me. I made them confess till their innocence died. Till their innocence died. It was no more. But I never meant to, and yet I just did it all the same. Got me a great big tanker full of petrol, and I set that place all up in flames. I burned down all the scrapers, and I burned down all the rules. I burned down the hypocritical churches, and I burned down the dogmatic schools, and I burned down the travesty of justice, and I burned down the dumbing down, and I burned down the anorexic choices, and then I burned down country, king, and crown. Country, king, and crown. I burned it all down. Down. But I never meant to. But alright, maybe I did it just for fun. Took my 1957 Dodge pickup and I filled it up with bombs and rage and guns. I drove it to the city, parked it on a roof. I knew that everyone that I could see was guilty. They were human, and that was my proof, so I did not worry about judgment. I did not worry about aim. I did not worry about no telescopic sight, because the guilty, man, they all look the same. I just went bang, boom, rage. I went bang and boom and rage. I went bang and boom, bang and boom, bang and boom, and rage, and rage. That which I would not do, I do, but I swear I never meant to. That which I would not do, I do, but I swear I never meant to. I swear to God I never meant to. That which I would not do, I do. I never meant to. Sometimes these things just happen. Sometimes these things just happen. Sometimes they just happen. Oh yeah? It was good to get that out of my system. That's right. It's like, after a piece like that, I feel like I've had my therapy session and now you all need your own. How good is that? This isn't really, this is connected to that one in the sense that it's not, I don't know if it's close calls or people used to tell me when I moved in, I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago and then I moved into the city. And people, when you move into the city, people from the suburbs tell you, be careful of moving into the city because it's full of crazy people, you know? And they told me, I remember people telling me, you know, whatever you do, when you're walking down the street, don't look anyone in the eye. And I'm like, I just think it's the opposite. It's like the best thing to do is like, look everybody in the eye and like smile, hi, how you doing? You know, because who's gonna give you trouble then, you know? So, I was walking down Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago, and this crazy, homeless, maybe, crazy eccentric man with wild hair and too many coats for the weather. You know, you can always tell that kind of person. And he just locked eyes on me. And he walked right up to me and he goes, "What's your name?" "Phil." "Philip! I thought it was you. It's me, John. We have a lot of work to do to prepare for the coming of the Lord." Philip and John were apostles. So, I can't remember exactly how we ended up deciding to go have a cup of coffee together, but he was like, he wanted to talk about the work of the Lord. And so we walked into the coffee shop, and on the door it said, "Welcome." And he goes, "What's that say?" And I said, "It says, welcome." "That's a good word. You can read. We need that." And we went inside and we had we had ordered a cup of coffee and we ordered a donut, and I don't know why, but this is what I remember. There was one donut, and I just remember him, like, he broke the donut and he gave me half the donut and he had half the donut, and it was very, Eucharistic, and I think actually if the Catholic Church went back to donuts, or they were never at donuts, were they? But they should try donuts, and it would just, numbers would go right up. But this is why I used to want to be a priest, and maybe I should have been. That was my calling, donuts. So we were splitting a donut, and I thought, this is amazing, and we talked about all these things that we had to do for the coming of the Lord, and then he left, and I went on my way, and I never saw him, for a long time, and it was very impressive though. But I was walking down, I don't know how much later it was, and I saw him again. And I kind of raced up to him, and I was like, "John." And he looked at me. "John, it's me. It's me, Philip. Don't you remember?" He's looking at me. "We have a lot of work to do for the coming of the Lord." He just looked at me and then just walked right past. And I never felt so rejected as I did by, one of the other disciples, And maybe that's how Jesus felt. I do not know him, but anyway, so that was one of my experiences with this crazy encounter and sort of embracing that. And I guess, I was a poet type at the time, and I still am, I guess. You get that in you, and it's hard to get it out. But I ended up, so I was embracing all of these kind of strange people and situations that came my way, and I was walking down the street again, and this was in a bit towards there was some sort of fancy restaurants, I think, on one side, but again, there was a man who was very eccentric, wearing too many coats, coming at me, and he went like this. "Ah!" And I didn't know what to do, so I went like this. "Ah!" Back at him. And he kind of looked at me, he was like, walked up. He was like, that's all he wanted, he just needed someone who speaks the same language. Fast forward to a New Year's Eve in Japan, and I went to this, I was invited to a party, I don't really remember where it was, but it was we had to go a long way to get to this place where, some foreigners were hanging out and having this New Year's Eve party, and it was it was a lovely party, and there were people all over the place. It was a small kind of I want to say it wasn't, it was an apartment, and there were like maybe 4 rooms in the apartment, and everybody was there having a great time, and there were, you know, everybody wanted to stay over, so, you know, because everybody's been drinking and enjoying the New Year's, and so we're all sleeping everywhere in the ground, and there was this, you know, even family with their kids, you know, and they've got them in the next room, and everybody's okay, everybody's sleeping, fine, right? And I had this dream, and in this dream, there was a stairway, and at the bottom of the stairway was the devil. You know, and it wasn't like, you know, this is a scary thing. No, this was the devil, and he was in my dream, and he started walking up the stairs towards me, like this, and then he raised his hands up and he went, "Hurrah!" And of course I thought, I know what to do about this. And at the top of my lungs, in this small apartment, I went, "Hurrah! Hurrah!" Back at the devil. Woke up everybody, crying children. Took, you know, a couple hours to get them back to sleep, I think, maybe. Because I was screaming like the devil. Freaked them out. But, I don't know, the devil kind of gave me a nod, and I don't know what he did, but everybody woke up. Maybe that's another thing. Oh, goodness. This next, I'm going to close with this. And this is one of my fears. This is my fear. This is my fear right now, and I'm embracing it. I'm not actually afraid of this. I'm afraid of holding this in front of you. But this is people ask me, you know, what is that? Is it a ukulele? Is it a, I don't know. But it's actually a guitalele. Yeah. Which I always imagine, you know, musicians having a party, and, you know, they leave the bottle of tequila on the table, and everybody's passed out, and you know, there's a guitar, and there's a ukulele. They had a little bit too much tequila, and this is what happened. You know, this was their baby, the guitalele. But this is a song about following your fears, and I'm going to need your help with this. So, it's in a waltz kind of timing, which is like a 1, 2, 3. See, my fingers stop moving, John. What do I do?
Just keep doing it.
Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Okay, my fingers stop moving. Here we go. So what I want to have happen is I want boom, ch, boom, ch, boom, ch. So you can boom, you can ch, you can do whatever you want. You can bang on the table, just don't break them. You can bang on the dishes, just don't break them. Is that good? Good and sure? Okay. So, help me out. Boom, ch, boom, boom. That's it. Boom, listen now, children, to the story that's told. Do as I say and you just might grow old. Always listen to strangers and wash behind your ears. But most of all, always follow your fears. There's a house down on Old Scarecrow Road where the people don't die, they just keep growing old. And they say that the oldest one there is nothing but bones and a long skull of hair. So listen now, children, to the story that's told. Do as I say and you just might grow old. Always listen to strangers and wash behind your ears. But most of all, always follow your fears. In the woods where it's dark and it's deep. There's an old hollow tree where the nightmares all sleep. When you pass, always cover your mouth, or they'll fly in your head and they'll never come out. So listen now, children, to the story that's told. Do as I say and you just might grow old. Always listen to strangers and wash behind your ears. But most of all, always follow your fear. Oh yes, and of course, be good. You must be, you must be, you must be, you must be good. You must be, you must be, you must be. There's a witch with a crooked hook nose who speaks in a language that nobody knows. She likes children all smiley and sweet, 'cause they make such a perfect after-dinner treat. We've got some in the back, don't we? So listen now, children, to the story that's told. Do as I say and you just might grow old. Always listen to strangers and wash behind your ears. But most of all, always follow your fears. Oh yes, and of course, be good. You must be, you must be, you must be, you must be good. You must be, you must be, you must be good. Thank you. Very good.
I've noticed that I have a small cafe uptown, and we change the paintings in the room, and how much the feeling of the room would change as the paintings changed. Furniture was the same, menu was the same, but the paintings would do that. And this is what happens here when people come. There are special nights, and this is really one of them. It's a beautiful energy happening here. And Phil, thank you. John, thank you. Devian, that's really wonderful. That made it happen, and you made it happen. So I love this place. I love this happens, and please continue to support it. Now I want someone to come up for an open mic story. Hey!